Next up in the programmatic category is Krit Pethkongkathon, Director of Marketing Science, PhD, USA.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Just wanted to also mention that I'm representing PhD, Analect, and Acuin, as well as Carnival. And the story I wanted to talk to you about is a programmatic story. It was something that we all collaborated on, and there's a lot of trust and cooperation. So I'm going to start with a little background. So for the past few years, Carnival has been very much focused on brand recovery. And I think we can name a couple of incidents we've seen on the news in the past involving some very unfortunate events, specifically within Carnival itself. The one I put up was the fun ship to poop ship. I don't think I need to go into any details there. But what we saw was a very dramatic decline in the consumer perception and trust with their consumer. And as a result, Carnival had initiated a series of very aggressive media campaigns that were all TV driven. And I mentioned that because, even though we were able to recover in the following year, there was a heavy reliance on TV as the main driver for their brand. And it was a fear that consumer confidence and trust would decline. However, we needed to change that thinking, and we needed to focus or shift our focus from brand to business. So for the first half of 2015, we focused on the performance-driven media and that growth therein. Where's that growth going to come from? It's going to be coming from data-driven consumer insights, but most importantly, it's going to be dependent on the ability and the ad technology to activate on those insights. So towards the latter half of 2014, Analect, PhD, and Carnival, we launched the Newstar DMP. And what that enabled us to do was to tap into a wide array of new information, a better understanding of our consumers. And the initial results were very positive. I think overall we saw a 4% increase in overall sales. That was driven primarily through a 7% increase through our programmatic campaigns, and we saw an increase of online bookings. And that got us thinking, and we decided to do something radical. We decided to double down on programmatic and digital, and we switched the channel mix to 90% digital. This is essentially eliminating TV for the first time in Carnival's media plan. So obviously that took guts, a lot of trust, and a lot of work, but we needed to set up a framework that would allow us to engage and understand these consumers, but put it in a context of the decision purchase cycle. And I think that's something we often forget when we create these audience insights, is we don't necessarily place them within that decision process and how those mindsets and how those triggers may change as they go down the funnel. So using those attributes and using all of the third-party research through the Newstar DMP, such as Xlate and Axiom, we were able to create a targeting schema that started with prospecting, in which we created 2 new segments called vacation planners and cruisers. This is looking at their behaviors and really creating a scalable audience that we can push down the funnel. The next step was focusing on retargeting. So what are we going to do with those folks that we're driving to the site? We need to get into their mindset, and we have to really understand and take hold of that cycle, purchase cycle. So we created a segmentation, 3 tiers based off of their engagement on site. So we have low, which are top page views, medium, searching for specific destinations on site, but also highly engaged. And these are the folks who have put a cruise in their shopping cart, but have not yet booked. So I think another issue, though, is great. We have all of this. We've answered the right people, we've answered the right place, we've answered the right time. But the issue now is an integral one. It's the right message. Now, the performance and the results that we saw, I think, was afforded because of our ability to partner with a company like Flash Talking and really set up a framework for dynamic creative optimization. Now what we're able to do is supply and identify signals applicable to each one of these segments, which represent the stages of the purchase funnel, and send them specific, relevant, and distinct messages based off of their state of mind and their behaviors. So an example within the prospecting segment is really simple. Within vacation planners, what we had noticed is they're looking for ideas to inspire them. But since they're new within the category, the price point. We offered a lower introductory price point for a shorter cruise. While our more seasoned cruisers, what inspired them was more of the convenience. They've already cruised. They already understand. They just need that to be reinforced. So we offered them pricing for a longer period cruise. And it's something as simple as that within the creative messaging and the pricing that can make a world of difference. So the results that we're seeing is we were very successful in creating this funnel and pushing down. So we saw 7 times higher page views across our prospecting segments, which results in 54% improvement in efficiency for cost per conversion. Within the retargeting segments, overall, 15% increase in bookings online year over year, as well as some improvements in efficiencies there. What I didn't put in this chart is the fact that the value of each one of those bookings increased year over year. So we're finding a highly qualified audience that is really going to drive their revenue. And with 37 seconds left, the fear that we had in trying to understand whether or not consumer perception may suffer as a result of the elimination of TV in their plan, it was all for naught. I think what programmatic demonstrated was it has the scale and the influence amongst the audiences to maintain a positive trend going to Q1 2015. Thank you.
Thank you, Krit. Questions for Krit?